Hello everybody on change.org and other sites that I might get recommended to. My name is Lee with this TR8 1982 original dual factory exhaust, original bumper, original paint. Yes, the paint does have some defects. It is 100% unrestored. Please leave in the comments. I have bottles of touch-up paint, both the silver and clear coat. And I believe some black as well for some of the black areas. And they're in original bottles that came from the original owner from 1982 that he got when he paid extra for when he bought the car that he also bought. So my question is, if I were to have the paint touched up in areas where it needs it, not have it restored, just have it touched up, would that be considered restored? Because right now this car is fully unrestored with several different online clubs and organizations I'm with, and I want to do more like the British Car of Las Vegas, and I want to do want to join more clubs, but I've done a lot of car shows as well, and I always put it in as unrestored because I haven't restored it. Neither have the previous owner restored it. It's unrestored. Mechanical stuff has been done to it so it can run. That's part of the reason I'm here, because, well, it went out again. But I'll explain in a minute. But can I touch up paint and still call the paint unrestored? I'm not restoring the paint. I don't want to repaint the whole car. I just want to touch up little things like this so that it doesn't get worse over time. And by the way, yes, it is raining out, but I'm going to wash my car a little bit later. You know, in Vegas, rain doesn't last long, so when the rain ends, I'm going to wash it. So a little rain on it now won't hurt. I'm not driving it. It's undrivable right now. I can start it up, and I will for you, but it's undrivable. So, original lights, okay. Now, the convertible top. It does have some little things here, and there's a rip there. So here's what I'm thinking of doing. I'm going to try to take it somewhere and have them sew this up somehow. Fix this, okay? And then fix this, because see, that one's broke there. Thing's fine here, but this one is broke, okay? See, it's supposed to have one of these clips, and it doesn't. They can fix that, right? And then I figured if I get this plastic restored, because I've tried about 20 different plastic cleaners, none of them cleared up. So I can have this, the stitching take out, and have these windows replaced. And I would restitch that, and then when the windows are replaced, I can keep the original top. Right? That's what I want to do. This original top, as you can see, is in immaculate condition. Okay, it's been in the garage over there for quite a bit, because that's where I store it. I just took it out because I'm going to wash it. So, you know, it's a little dusty, but other than that, the top is really in good condition. I'm thinking if I just get the plastics replaced and restitched, and then I wouldn't have to tape it, and get this little stuff fixed up, hey, I would be able to do that. So that's part of the stuff that I want to get fixed. I do want to get new tires too, and that's going to be part of what your money is helping, because if you look here, I just noticed this like 2 days ago, and I'm kind of pissed off I didn't notice it sooner. So here's the DOT code. The last 2 digits, last 4 digits in those circles are supposed to be the month or the week, I guess, in the year, if I'm reading that right. So 2006, 19th week. Because remember, it's upside down. I've got my thing, the writing is upside down from what you're seeing. So it's 1906. These tires are from 2006. Man, and I've washed these tires a couple times over the past year I've had this car. Didn't even notice that. Oh my gosh. That is, the tread on them is amazing still, because I don't really, it was going to be my daily driver, and it was for a little while until stuff started breaking on it. And then I just did some car shows until now I can't do anything because it's totally broken down. So, yeah. 2006, dang. Those are the, if you're wondering, those are the factory upgraded wheels. I have the original wheels in the garage. They had the original wheels for a couple months until the factory wheels came in, and then they had them switched out. This is a 1982. It is a 3.5 liter So there you go. Kind of cool. There's the VIN if you want to look it up. I added the sticker. Hey, hey. And that is a solar thing that's stuck on the inside of the window. That's for the tires. I have a Bluetooth, what do you call it? Bluetooth tire pressure monitor on there, which is a good thing because one of these tires starts giving out and the air starts going out. I don't want to have a blowout. I want to get it replaced ASAP, and I'm going to now that I see they're 2006. That's crazy. Don't mind the temporary registration. I haven't driven it actually since even before this expired because the car went out. So the car broke, I should say. So let me explain. See, there's the tire pressure monitor that I added to each of the four wheels. So I bought this car. It was running pretty good. It needed an alternator because you know, the alternator wasn't working right and the battery kept dying. So I put a new battery and a new alternator, and I can open up the back here. And then it had a leak and I had to replace a couple of the hoses in the engine. These are all the keys for it. Kind of cool how it says that's the alarm. I installed an alarm because even though it's in the garage, you just never know. See how that says TR8? That's kind of cool, isn't it? So the small one here does the locks. There we go. See, the original push one, it still works. So we got a new battery in there. And that's because it kept dying, but it's better now. That's in case one of the tires ever got low, I could try and fill it. I hope to never have to use that, but you never know. Those are all the stuff I use. And I only use AMSOIL. High zinc because it's a flat tappet engine. So there you go. That's their premium synthetic oil. These are from the 80s, actually, from another vehicle I had. So they work. Actually, they still work, believe it or not. When I bought, if I remember correctly, I bought this for like $200 from the dealership back in the 80s. It was a whole set of stuff, and those are the only 2 bottles I have left out of it. There's no gas in there. That's just in case I need to get gas. So, yeah, cool beans. That's actually from the 80s too. And that's a chair because I do a lot of car shows. So, pretty cool. And yes, that's the original factory antenna that goes up and down. So, it kind of half works. They sell those online. I can get another one and get it replaced. And some of the amplifiers for the speakers in the car. So, let's go ahead and open her up. I'm going to show you exactly all the stuff that you're helping me fix. Now, here's this, but it stopped working. I want to say about 100 miles ago, this cable came out. I had my regular mechanic fix it and put the cable back in, but it fell right back out a day or two after I got it back. So I don't know what's wrong there, but I'm guessing that's the speedo cable, and that's why that's not working, and I don't get any registered speed. So I bought that. But I do want to get that fully fixed. They said that they'll take a look at it and see if that needs replacing or just get that fixed again. So my speedometer and my stuff works. If not, I can buy these gauges individually online. I've seen them, the OEM ones. It is a 5-speed manual. Kind of cool with the e-brake, right? I don't have it on right now because I just dragged it out here and it's kind of on this little... See how it kind of goes in both ways? So the car is just kind of set there. It can't... Gravity can't push it either way. It's just kind of centered right there. And yes, it is raining, if you're wondering. But I was going to wash it anyway, so. It has heat, not air conditioning. This is not one of the ones that came with air conditioning. That down there shows it's been sitting a while, so the battery's, you know, 12.1. But I'll start it up and the thing will, alternator will charge it a little. Those are what I, even in the garage, man, you gotta, you know, one for the clutch, one for the steering wheel. And underneath here is the original steering wheel. It's in good condition. It's just, you know, I don't want it to degrade while I'm driving. And when I drive, I have seat covers. since I'm not driving, I took the seat covers off, let the seats breathe and stuff. I do want to eventually get an upholsterer to fix this and wash the covers, like steam clean the covers and fix that. And, you know, the seats are the original seats. And floor mats and underneath the original carpet. I do want to get the carpet steamed as well, because as you see, it's pretty dirty. But there are specialists that can steam all that out and make the carpet like brand new. And then steam the seats to look like brand new, get that stitched up, and boom. I've got the original seats and everything. And then, like I said, when I'm driving it, I do put seat covers, including here, and then a second piece that does this. So I do cover the seats when I'm out driving it. All right, so did we open the hood? Yeah, okay. Kind of weird you gotta open it from that corner, or it doesn't lift up. Okay, the original stickers. Kind of cool, kind of cool. All right. And again, there's the registration. It is in 1982, the last year they made them. Now, they only made 59 the last year. Or 69, I'm sorry, 69. They made 69 the last year. This is number 57 out of 69. So this is the 57th one they made out of 69 that last year. And as you know, British Leyland went out of business and closed down, so they didn't make any after the 69. Now here's a cool story about this car specifically. So all 69, you'll notice the speedometer is in kilometers because it didn't pass US emissions. Even though it had emission stickers and everything, it wasn't enough because of the V8 and all the raw power. And this is all original here, minus the alternator, which I had replaced, and some hoses. And obviously these are new and stuff, right? But I mean, other than new stuff needed to keep the car running over time, you know, it's the original V8, and it is, yes, a V8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you go. So it didn't pass US emissions, so they were all shipped to Canada, all 69. However, on its way to Canada, the boat stopped in New York, and the story from the original owner, as far as I'm told, is that this one fell off the boat in New York and was sold in 1982 to a dealership in 1982. And I have the original dealership paperwork. I'll post pictures on the petition for you so you can see that. So this is the only one that wasn't imported into the United States after that 20-year import law. This was originally sold in the United States, even though it was illegal to be sold in the United States. So I don't know how they did it, but they did it. So kind of cool, if you ask me. Now, when I bought the car, I did the alternator, did some hoses, okay, did some wiring and stuff. Then the clutch went out, and I replaced the clutch under here, obviously, right? It was leaking. I fixed the leak, and I guess under pressure it was still leaking. It didn't, and I guess the master and slave cylinder were bad, so I replaced both of those, and I replaced the clutch. Okay, Amco did the master and slave cylinders. Aerotech Tuning here in Las Vegas did the clutch and did a very good job, both of them. So thank you for that. But then I noticed that my shifter was bad because it was very loose. It was very swimmy. And you would think, oh, it's those bushings. You know, the bushings go out on shifters in Triumphs, right? Well, not exactly. So it wasn't really the bushing that was bad. If I can get in there to see the shifter, there it is. Okay, so it wasn't the bushings that were bad. It was actually the ball and bearing that were bad, because I guess the previous owner already did the bushings. They said, oh no, these aren't the these are the newer bushings. These aren't the rubber ones. These are the polyurethane ones or whatever. So they're good. So the Aerotech did replace the ball and bearing. I got it shipped from England. I found a place on there, Rob Sport or something like that, that sold it to me. So I got that fixed. But then gear one was when you put it in gear one and you started driving, it just popped right out into the middle. And then when you went down to gear two, it grinded a lot. So I was starting it in gear three a lot of the time because the transmission was going out. And then of course I burned out my clutch doing that, and needless to say, now I need a transmission and a clutch, both. So that's the reason I'm on here, because I need about, you know, maybe to get a used transmission, a good one, a couple thousand. a couple thousand in labor, and then we're looking at about $1,500 for decent. I got a clutch for like $200 or $300. You know, off a nice place in Michigan. That's all, I believe it's Michigan, that does these cars only. It was nice. It was a Borgenbeck, but I want to see if there's an upgraded one, more so than the Borgenbeck, that I can get. You know, that'll just be a little more rugged, if you will. But the Borgenbeck is a good brand. It's an OEM brand, and it did good. It's my fault for starting it in third gear because of the transmission issues. But you know, I know there's other ones out there, so I want to get that. I want to get a used transmission that's in good condition, or get this rebuilt. But it's going to take at least a couple thousand to get it rebuilt. I'm thinking for that price, I can get it. I can get a used one, and Aerotech will take out the old transmission, put in the new one, and then do the clutch. I did put a light and flywheel in here as well. So I did that from that same Michigan company. I'll remember their name here eventually. So I need a transmission, and I'll put the paperwork on there that shows that, and a clutch. And I do have a gas leak, although Aerotech couldn't diagnose it. But if you look on my social media, TR8Vegas, TR and then the number 8 and then Vegas, so TR8Vegas. Look on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. You'll see that video where I showed you it leaking, and then I fixed it by fixing the vent canister that's in here. There's a plastic vent canister. I think that went bad again, or clogged up again, because it's every time I fill it up and I drive home, even if I drive 2 minutes from the gas station, I see it drip, 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 drip. You know, and then it stops after so long. I'm guessing after it gets empty enough where you know, there's room for it to expand with the pressure or whatever, not leak out. So after a couple hours, the leak stops. But still, I want to get that leak fixed for good this time. I had it fixed, but now a couple months later, it's not fixed again. So Aerotech is going to fix that. You know, so basically what I'm asking for your help with is to fix that speedo cable. That it looks like it goes right here, I'm guessing. I think that's the same cable. I could be wrong on that, but it looks like the same cable on this side. It looks like it goes in there, so I want to do that. I did get an oil change not too long before it died, but I just want to get another oil change because it's been sitting now a couple months. They did also diagnose, because I had leaks coming out from here, and not a lot, but maybe once or twice my car was starting to overheat. I pulled over and waited about an hour, opened that up, and that was pretty much drained. And then I filled it up and everything would be okay, and then, like I said, it did it like once or twice. It didn't do it steadily. But I guess they did diagnose, doing some pressure tests and stuff, my coolant system is fine. My water pump needs to be replaced. So I can find those online, OEM ones, they do sell them. But I need to get that replaced. I do want to put a bigger alternator in here, even though I have a brand new one I got at AutoZone, believe it or not. Yeah, it was only like $140. And then I had Alternator Depot here in Vegas, put that in. This was before I started with Aerotech. Otherwise, they would have done it. But Alternator Depot said, you know, it's only 36 amps. And I'm going, yeah, the car doesn't use a lot. You know, and it doesn't. But, you know, I do want to see about getting, they have a Classic Air, is it? To put air conditioning in here? Because as you see inside, I've got vents inside. See, and even up here, it's got vents where heat comes out, because it's got a heater. Obviously, air blows over the engine, it's hot, and it directs it into the car. It's got a blower that blows it in the car. So most cars have heaters by default, but I want to put like a Classic AC or Classic Air or whatever you call it in here. And they this place in, is it Michigan, I think, on the East Coast, that you know, sold me a lot of the parts for this and stuff, and the Borgenbeck clutch and all that, and the light and flywheel. They have a Chevrolet type alternator that is basically plug and play. You can take this one out, put the bracket, put theirs in, put the belt, and boom, and that's 100 amps that theirs is. So I want to get that and change that to 100 amps. Then I'm ready to put an AC in here. But yeah, as you see, it's all original other than what had to be replaced. I'll have to figure out what this is, because this doesn't go anywhere. Like, literally. There's, you know, that doesn't, that's not part of it. I want to say this is for the windshield wiper, and it's supposed to go over here where the windshield wiper thing is, and then this one right here, you see going in here, goes all the way over to here, and this is supposed to be for the windshield washer, but the old owner said the windshield washer pump, which is right here, this thing in the corner here, doesn't work. So this was just cut. Yeah, it was just cut. I guess it got caught in the thing or whatever, and it got cut, but it didn't matter because the pump's not working anyway. So I don't have windshield washer fluids. The wipers go up and down just fine, but I don't have, you know, I think this is washer fluid. This, I believe, is the only overflow tank for the coolant. This is for washer fluid from what I understand. If I'm wrong, please let me know, but that's what I believe it to be. And I believe this is supposed to connect to this too, like this is supposed to connect to that or back here or something, and then pump it so it sprays when you, but I don't need that. Okay, so there's the brake. I had the brake fluid replaced. Aerotech did that. That's in perfect condition. Everything is great. I just need a clutch. I need a new or rebuilt transmission, and it's 2 out of the 5 gears, which, you know, if it was just 1 out of the 5 gears, maybe rebuild is a better option. But because it's 2 of them, and it's 1st and 2nd gear at that, those are the harder ones. I'm probably just going to get a used one that has all 5 working and correctly, and just switch out the transmission if I can. So those are the 2 main things that you're helping me pay for, along with the water pump and the gas leak and new tires. And I do have an exhaust leak. Since Aerotech's been working on the car with the clutch and, you know, and the shifter and all, you know, they had to remove the exhaust to replace the clutch. And when they put it back on there, I mean, they must have spent a day or 2 trying to fix the exhaust leak. They're like, look, we don't have those kind of special, like they have basic welders and stuff, but they don't do exhausts. You know, they're not an exhaust specialist. So I'll go to one of those and get the exhaust leak fixed and get it welded back up, or get something fabricated that can fix that. But I do have an exhaust leak too that I need to fix, and you'll see that in one of the invoices where they say there was an exhaust leak, you know, and they were unable to fix that. So, and then also what you're helping me pay for is, when I first bought this car, I got some nano coatings and some ceramic coatings and stuff, just so that when it is outside, the sunlight, you know, this is Vegas, I don't keep it outside. I keep it in my garage. When I'm driving it, it's outside and stuff. And right now it's outside. Even though it's cloudy and stuff, the UV, you know, is pretty high here. UV index. So I want to go back to a nice shop and get it, like, totally, like, waxed and nano coated again. I'm thinking of going to this place here. Let me know if you've been here. I've heard a lot of good things about this. They've actually contacted me a couple times personally. They've got my information from my social media for the car. Again, that's TR8Vegas. So youtube.com or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, those 4, just search TR8Vegas, you'll find me. And Glossit has contacted me a couple times wanting to sponsor my car, and so they can get some videos, you know, before and after, showing how their coatings can really, like, make this even better. And as you see, I use a lot of their stuff. Okay, I also use this one. I found a lot of success with this. I use both Glossit plus this one, Maxwell one, but this is my main go-to. This is like my 3rd bottle from them. It is amazing stuff. Glossit is an amazing company. So I'm going to need about probably $2,500 as well, that you're going to help pay for, to get this fully done. And again, here, perfect example. You can't really see this because it's in the wheel well, and it's not rusted, it doesn't look like. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just paint chipping. We don't get a lot of rain, we don't get any salt here, we don't get snow in Vegas. And when we do, it melts in less than a day, so. But if I use the touch-up paint bottles I have and touch this up, would that be considered restoring the paint? Like the whole paint? Could I still say this is the original paint, it's been unrestored? Or do I just want to get this like clear coated with that nano and ceramic coating and stuff, you know, that 7-year stuff? Because the stuff I did was only a 1-year stuff. I didn't spend too much, I did it myself. But I wanted something on here to protect this when I'm driving it, when it's outside. Even if I'm not driving it, it's outside like now. So answer me this, community. Can I get this touched up so you don't see all the chips, so it looks universal? But since I'm not touching up everything, I'm not redoing the whole car, would that be considered me restoring the paint? Or is that just a little touch up and it doesn't count? I need to know the legalities on that, because when I do car shows right now, I tell them, yeah, you'll see stuff like that. I'll point that right out to the judges and go, but I haven't restored it, it's unrestored. This is the original paint from 1982, untouched except for a couple of waxes and nano coatings and stuff, just to protect it, because it's out here in Vegas, you know. By the way, the car's never been out in the rain since 1982. This is the very first time it's out in the rain. And as you see, it's not raining a lot. And as you see, I'm not driving in the rain. I'm letting it sit here because I'm going to wash it. So I don't normally leave it out when it rains. It's normally in the garage. Just FYI, okay? So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start it. Let you hear it. Because it does start and run. But because the clutch and the transmission are out, well, needless to say, it doesn't drive. So, okay. Let's do it. Got the keys here. Now, if you go on my social media, you'll see a video where I did start it up when I first bought it. Show you like the very first time starting it up after it came off the tow truck when I first bought it. You can compare that to how it is now and you'll see just how much louder it is now. Definitely has an exhaust leak. I'm not complaining in the fact that it's noisier, because it's normally fast and loud anyways, so a little extra noise isn't going to kill anyone. It's going to have the neighbor's hair stand up probably every time I start my car and stuff. But, you know, it sounds kind of cool when you're out driving. But the problem is, when I first bought it, and I was driving it on a daily basis for a couple months last year, and then I says, okay, I'm going to start doing videos, but on a, you know, I wanted to just start driving the car around a little bit, and I didn't have a dash cam at the time. I did get one now. Obviously, it's sitting in there because when I don't drive it, there's no reason to have it just attached to the window. It's hot. I don't want the thing to melt, you know, even if it's in the garage, right? It's cooler, I believe, in here than just sitting in the car. You know, even if it is all in the garage. I don't want to just leave it up there when I'm not driving it, so. But when I drive it, I put that up there and it plugs in, you know, right here, I should say. Sorry, I've still got the cord there actually for it. This is the cord for the, this is Bluetooth, so I can put Bluetooth to the old radio. That's the original radio. And yes, this is held up. So this is another thing I want. Aerotech to diagnose your money's going to help fix this too. So this is the fan. It's supposed to go up to turn off, and then 1, 2, 3. So here's 3, 2, 1, off. And hear that? It won't go all the way up. It's hitting something. So this just kind of holds it up a little bit over 1, and it's still on. So even when I'm driving in the middle of summer, it's blowing out hot air. But at least it's up, because if I don't put this there when I drive, it eventually works its way down to 3, and then I've got, you know, really fast hot air blowing to me. With this here, it kind of just keeps it held up like just past 1, so the air's not blowing as much, and it's not as hot of a car. All right, so it's been sitting a couple months. We're at 12.1. Battery's brand new, so I'm not too worried. Let's put this in here. Original key. I've actually got 2 original keys, and then I have a bunch of spares I had made. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's because the door's open. There we go. All right, are you ready? Let's do it. Woo-hoo-hoo! Now, you'll notice this is at 11.8 because I just started it. So what I do is I wait about 10 seconds. I want the oil to start circulating. And then watch when I hit the gas a little bit. Nope. Try it again. There we go. Instantly now the alternator kicks in. I don't know why I have to do that to get the alternator kicked in. But as you see now the alternator's kicked in, so. But it's been like that ever since I bought it, even with the old alternator. And when the old alternator went out, even when I did that, it would stay at that 11 point something, and then it will go down to 10, and then it will go down from 10 to 0 and die out. So, I mean, the alternator's running, the new alternator's running good, but I do have to still press on the gas a little bit to get it to. That's an alarm. I have like 3 or 4 GPS trackers. That's just the visible one. There's a couple that are not visible. So you can definitely hear there's an exhaust leak. That's not normal. I can definitely smell there's an exhaust leak. It's coming, sounds like from somewhere right here. Somewhere. But anyways, yeah, I mean, as you see, the fan's running good. The belts were all good, Aerotech said. They ran over the belts. That's good. That's the power steering. Brake fluid is good. Like I said, I just got an oil change, but I'm going to get another one. That's the original horn. It's got a pretty loud horn. Let's go to the other side. Pop-up headlights. I'll pop them up just so you can see. Maybe it is coming from this side. I don't know. It's hard to tell. 1, 2, 3, 4. C4. All right. This is the coming from the back, from the gas tank actually. That's, I guess, part of the emission system, these two. Oh, one thing, yes, there you go. Speaking of emission systems, when I started having the exhaust, like I said, I don't mind the noise. But when I first started driving the car, I was getting about 22 miles a gallon, which was amazing. And then when I got it back after the Aerotech fix and they had to remove the exhaust to get the clutch and everything, guess what happened? I went from 22 miles down to about 10 miles a gallon. And I learned that the hard way because back then my speedometer was still working and I said, oh, you know, it's a 15-gallon tank. I got 350 miles, you know, converted to kilometers, of course. But, you know, I didn't have this yet, so I was converting into kilometers. So I usually did about 350 kilometers. And it's not miles, it's kilometers. Sorry, I forgot kilometers. So I did about 350 kilometers. I would reset the bottom, you know, and push the button and reset the bottom. When it gets to 350, go get a gas change. And I was at about 100 and something, and it just died on me, and I didn't know what was going on. And then I went and got a gallon of gas, put it in there, and it started right up. And I went to the gas station, and sure enough, 14.5 gallons. And I'm going, oh shit, okay. So it ran out of gas. And that's when I realized, well, I guess because of the exhaust leak, I'm losing a lot of gas mileage. So although that's not affecting anything, you know, like mechanical wise, it smells awful up there, number one. And number two, I'm losing about 12 miles a gallon on gas mileage. So yeah, I definitely want to get that fixed. And when I'm doing that, I'm gonna also, because the other owner said he didn't replace them yet, I want to have the O2 sensors that are underneath, there's 2 of them replaced as well, and the AirTech's gonna do that. They're not expensive, 40-50 bucks each, and then the labor, but still, I'm just saying some of this, that's also some of the stuff that you're gonna help pay for when you pay for me to get this car fixed. As you can see, the voltmeter works good. The fuel gauge hasn't been working for about 2 weeks after I bought it. That's why I was counting the mileage. You're probably like, well, don't you have a fuel gauge? Yeah, but it doesn't work. So, there's another thing. I keep thinking of stuff. After a while, you can't hear now, but once you're driving it, especially on the freeway, after a while, the pump starts whining really loudly. So the pump is on its way out. It works, but it's on its way out. It's whining, especially when you start driving it at higher RPMs for an extended period, and the whining gets louder and louder, and it's very noticeable. So I want to get the pump replaced. Maybe when I replace the pump, I can also replace the center unit, and maybe that'll fix this. If not, each of these are available online. You don't. This isn't like a regular instrument panel on modern cars where it's one piece, you replace it all. You actually can replace individual pieces. They sell the clocks. They're very expensive. But look, my clock is working. And it's still got the right time. Fancy that. Look at that. Hey. So the clock works perfect right here. The clock. Okay, the temperature gauge works. It's cold because, well, the car's cold. It definitely works. Trust me. That, once I get that cable fixed down there, I'm guessing that'll be fixed, hopefully. Okay. If not, I'll replace that. That works, obviously. It's showing the RPMs right now. The voltage works, and then I don't know what's causing that. You know, haven't spent too much time looking at that because that's not my priority. My priority has been getting this car running. You know, the car shows I've done, you know, they don't know that this doesn't work, and I don't tell them. It's don't ask, don't tell, right? And they're not there to judge my fuel gauge working or not. They're there to judge how the car looks after, you know, 45, 82, 92, 22, 44 years, 26. Although technically it was made, even though it's 82, it was made in 81, so 45-year-old car, you know? And the fact it's got the original panels and stuff, the original seats. I'm sitting in it now. I'm kind of pissed off at myself because I don't like sitting on the seats without a seat cover. Because I'm not trying to make them dirtier and stuff with my dirty shirt and shit. But anyways, I'm going to get them steamed. So yeah, I mean, this panel works good. I installed this myself. Push start, right? It's a joke. But if someone comes in here and they don't, and they see this looking from the outside, looking in, that's the first thing they're going to see. They're going to think, oh, it's a push start. Oh, well, it's really not. So that was just a joke. I did that, and I added this. So in the back, I actually have the original plastic cover that goes here. But hey, doesn't that look much better? Same as on the thing. So I added that. But I do have the original one, and when I do car shows, I stick it right up here to show that I have the original one. This is the original shifter. I do want to buy another one and unscrew this, and when I'm driving, use a different one. No, you know what it is? No, I'm going to buy a cover. They make covers for these. I don't want to take this off and then switch it out and then switch it back when I get to a car show. They make like covers. You can felt like this, and a cover. It's made for these, and it covers it, and you know what I mean. I'll buy that, so I'm not, you know, touching it. This does need to be fixed because it's original too. Little dusty. The car's been sitting a minute. So I mean, as you see, vent, right, off, max. You've got cold and hot. Although cold just means outside air because it doesn't actually have a compressor. It doesn't have AC. And then you got screen, and then you got fan, and then you got car. So when the air does come in, even though, you know, because it's still on a little bit, even though this doesn't go up, I put it to the screen, so it goes to the screen, not out the vents and blowing hot air on me. Here's all the lights. Let me go out and see if I can show you the lights do work. There they are. Yeah, man. Turn this off. Is that cool or what, huh? And again, the sirens, because my door is open. There we go. So, I want to put an AC in here, but first and foremost, I want to get this car running again. And I mean like driving, not just running like it is now, but driving, right? So, I want to definitely get a bigger alternator in here. That'll help that. 13.0 is not bad. And as I drive, see, look, it goes up. Like I say, when I put gas on it, it gets higher. See, 13.8 now. When I let off the gas, then it goes back down again. See, I'm off the gas now, and it's at 13. So when I put a bigger alternator in there, even though 13.0 is not bad and it is charging the battery, it could be more. And I understand I'm just idling, but if I put a bigger alternator in there, I won't have to worry about that. I do want to put a lithium ion battery in the back instead of just a glass mat battery that I have now. Okay, so I want to do that. And I want to put a box for the battery just to make it look nicer back there. But like I said, first things first, I want to get a new clutch because I need it. This one, I burnt it out, starting it in third gear. But I didn't have a choice. So, there's nothing you can do. Because first gear, like, whenever I put it in first gear, and I drove, it would just go and pop right back out. And whenever I put it in second gear and started driving, you would hear it grinding. So I literally started it in third gear, started out really slowly, let off the clutch really slowly, and then went from third down to fourth, and from fourth over to fifth. Yes, I'm on the clutch, and I know the clutch is burnt, but I don't know how badly, I don't want to make it any worse than it is, So... But, so I want to get it fixed. I want to get the transmission rebuilt or replaced. I want to get the clutch done. I want to get the water pump fixed. I want to get this exhaust leak fixed. I want to get the gas pump leak fixed. Water pump leak fixed, gas leak fixed, exhaust leak fixed, clutch, and transmission. Those are the 5 main things that I want to get fixed just so the car's running again. Then, 5 more things. I want to get new tires. I want to get a new battery and a new alternator, and I want to get the inside detailed and washed, the seats like steam cleaned and stuff to get all that brown off them, and the carpet, even though the carpet is brown carpet, I want to get all the dirt off it so it doesn't look all dirty like that, because I guarantee you it didn't come like that. And I want to get all the, like, you can see how these seats are like just dirt over the years has come up on them, and so I want to get them washed, and so they look more like this, nice and clean, right? Or more like this. See how this is kind of cleaner even than that, and I don't even have passengers, so go figure. But I want to get these done. So I want to get the tires, I want to get the inside of the battery and bigger alternator done. I want to get the convertible top done and an AC done and an AC put in. Those are the 5 things after that, and then get the inside of the car detailed. So that's a total of 11 things that I want to get done with this car, and with your help I'll get it done. So thank you very much for helping.